There is something in the air that night. The stars are bright, Fernando.
50 years ago, Fernando came to life. What's the story, the lyrics, the music? In today's video, we talk about the creation and evolution of ABBA's Fernando. Hey! So, it took several months for ABBA to create Fernando as we know it today. The song was written in Benny's and Frida's house in the old town of Stockholm. It started live, as so many of ABBA's songs, on a cassette demo tape with Björn and Benny humming along. In 1975, a brief excerpt of this cassette demo of Fernando was broadcast on Swedish TV. This was the only time that we ever got to hear a glimpse into those cassette demo tapes. Fernando was written especially for Frida as a solo artist for her 1975 solo album Ensam. Benny, who produced the album, said, "We needed a good song, we wrote that one for her. There wasn't any intention of recording it with ABBA." In the studio, Fernando was first attempted by Frida in Tango style. A snippet of this early version was released in 1994 as part of the outtakes medley ABBA Undeleted. The song was re-recorded at Metronome Studio into the version we know today, and first recorded solo by Frida with Swedish lyrics, written by ABBA's manager Stig Andersson. The backing track has all of ABBA's key musicians, Benny Andersson on keyboards, Björn Ulvaeus on guitars, Lasse Welander on guitars, Rutger Gunnarsson on bass, and two musicians for drums, Ola Brankert and fine-tuning by Roger Palm. In October 1975, flute overdubs were done by Jan Kling. Very soon, Björn and Benny realized that the song is good enough to do in English as well, with ABBA. Björn wrote entirely new lyrics. The Swedish version by Stig was a simple love story. Björn wanted more. His lyrics came to Björn on a beautiful summer night on the island Viksö, when he was lying on his back on the jetty. Björn said, "I was looking at a starry, completely unobscured sky, and it was as though the words were handed to me from above. I only had to reach out and grab them. There was something in the air that night." Björn was inspired to create a Mexican theme because of the title and the Latin American flavor of the music. The drums in the beginning reminded him of the Mexican Revolution. "Can you hear the drums, Fernando?" This was about memories from a mysterious past, he said. "Suddenly we have this Mexican couple sitting on the porch, reminiscing about the times when they were fighting for freedom." ABBA's recording underwent several versions until they reached the final result, and interestingly enough, many of these unreleased mixes somehow made it into the public. An early mix featured additional glockenspiel during the chorus. This mix was used for ABBA's playback performance of the song on the German ABBA TV special Musikladen Extra. An early full-length version features more bars between the first chorus and second verse and additional string interjections. This moment was cut down for ABBA's final version, but they were used from this original backing track, from this early full-length version, for a German version of the song recorded by Lena Andersson. In February 1976, ABBA performed the song in an acoustic version for a German TV report, one of the few instances of an ABBA acoustic performance. Unfortunately, the majority of this performance was obscured by narration. In the following months and years, ABBA re-recorded Fernando in the studio 3 times. First for a performance on Top of the Pops, then with new lyrics for a series of national commercial advertisement spots. And in 1980, Fernando was recorded by ABBA in Spanish language for their Spanish album. They performed the song on both of their world tours live in concert in 1977 and 1979-1980. Today the song is part of ABBA's Voyage concert residency in London, with a beautiful, emotional introduction by Frida. Fernando became that important first breakthrough song for Frida as a lead vocalist for ABBA, similar to what SOS was for Agneta before. Fernando was ABBA's follow-up single to Mamma Mia. It was their manager Stig Andersson who decided for this song to be the next single. He wanted variation. Stig said, "No one should be able to predict how the next ABBA thing will sound." Björn said, "We consciously modeled ourselves on the Beatles in that respect. It was the intention to every time surprise people and come up with something new." And the Beatles' inspiration literally paid off. In Australia, the song went to #1 for 14 weeks, equaling the Beatles' record with Hey Jude. Fernando became ABBA's biggest hit single during their active career, #1 in 9 countries, and sold 6 million copies. Just these days, the song became the soundtrack for Stranger Things, accompanying an important horrific scene and creating an ambivalent atmosphere. What's your story with the song? When and how did you hear ABBA's Fernando for the very first time? What were your feelings about this song? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, until then, hej då!